Mo's World, the baseball podcast. Yep, another baseball podcast. Here we talk about baseball like a few friends sitting at the bar. We welcome your input and look forward to your comments.
Awesome!
Season 3, Episode 17. Triple Crown? Holy cow! Can this be happening this year? In case you are not aware, there is a player in Houston who has everyone talking about Mickey Mantle lately. Yes, Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros is having a career year for sure. In his 8th year with the Houston Astros, Yordan Alvarez is putting it all together. He is leading in 11 offensive categories this year, not for his career, but for this year. At 29, he is threatening something that has not happened in 70 years. In 1956, Mickey Mantle, in his 5th year with the Yankees, led the majors in all Triple Crown categories. Mickey completed the year winning the batting title at .353, leading the majors with 52 home runs and leading the majors with 130 RBIs. He was the last player to win the Triple Crown and lead both the American League and National League in these stats. Geez, when was the last time even a player won the Triple Crown? Do you remember? Do you care? Are you only into the analytical stats thinking, big deal, whatever? Look, winning the Triple Crown is still a big deal. In 2012, Miguel Cabrera of the Detroit Tigers won the Triple Crown. And that was the first time in 45 years it was won. Winning the Triple Crown has been accomplished only 12 times in Major League Baseball history, dating back to 1920. I'm not going any further than that. Let's get real here. Now let that number sink in a bit. Only 10 players have accomplished the feat of winning the Triple Crown, as Ted Williams and Roger Hornsby did it twice. Yeah, unbelievable, right? I mean, we have players, so Cabrera in 2012, 1967, Carl Yastrzemski of the Red Sox led the American League. In 1966, Frank Robinson of the Baltimore Orioles. We talked about Mickey Mantle in 1956. 1947, Ted Williams won. In 1942, Ted Williams won. In 1937, it was Joe Medwick. In 1934, Luke Gehrig. In 1925, Rogers Hornsby. And he did it again in 1922. Now, the Triple Crown, the RBIs became an official statistic in 1920. So let's base all of this from 1920 even. And in 1933, Major League Baseball had a rare feat of having 2 winners. Chuck Klein led the National League with 28 home runs, 120 RBIs, and a .368 average. And Jimmy Fox, well, he led the American League with 48 home runs, 163 RBIs, and a .356 average. Wow. Now, this is why I do not reference that era anymore. The players and numbers were insane. But don't forget, in 1922, there were 16 teams in Major League Baseball. 8 in the American League, 8 in the National League. It's just a difficult era to compare to in today's stats. That's why I stick to records from the 60s only. And that's still 66 friggin' years ago, right? So that would mean the feat of winning the batting title Triple Crown has been accomplished just 3 times since 1960. 66 years. And that's about 12,000 players entering the majors in that time frame, if you're starting to count. Now, power, production, hitting, it's the ultimate combination for a player. And don't let the analytics of today's game mislead you. Basically, this is one of the rarest deeds in Major League Baseball. So let's all root on Yordan Alvarez in his final part of the season. As he stands right now, he's got a .321 average leading the American League. He's got 36 home runs. He's first in the American League and second in the majors. And runs batted in, he's got 88, first in the American League, but he's third now in the majors. I think some luck is needed for the success of a new league recently announced as well. The AUSL. Have you had time to check out what they're promoting on Major League Baseball Network? You know, the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. I read somewhere where the name Athlete Unlimited Softball League, get ready for this, was chosen to emphasize the league's core values and mission. Huh? The term athletes highlights the league's focus on professional athletes, providing them with a platform to showcase their skills. Okay, that makes sense. The word unlimited reflects the league's dedication to innovation in women's sports. It represents the league's goal of creating an inclusive environment where all athletes can thrive and succeed. What the fuck? Sorry, I'm missing something. Call this league what it is. Women's professional softball. Skip the lame-ass woke name of this league. Holy shit. Creating controversy over the league name is not a way to start. If they can make it through the naming of the league, the product on the field was pretty competitive. But seriously, let's change the stupid league name. Speaking of changes, since the beginning of instant replay, challenges and evolving umpire standards, the lack of managers getting thrown out pretty much makes a certain Bobby Cox's record safe as anything. He got ejected 162 times in his career. Now, that is so funny because I really cannot see anyone topping that in today's age of baseball. And I just don't really argue anymore. But it was funny this week we saw some controversy, but basically they are much more docile. I miss a manager going berserk. Kinda, it makes the game human. I guess we gotta thank Aaron Boone for something. Check out the number of ejections in the top 5 in getting ejected. Anyone from the current list of managers? Because number 1, like we said, Bobby Cox at 162. Number 2, John McGraw, old-time manager from the New York Giants. Leo DeRocha at 100 ejections. Earl Weaver at number 4 at 96 ejections. And Tony La Russa at 93 ejections. So, kind of interesting. Is it all analytics and front office controlled even for getting kicked out? Some of these managers got on a roll just to get kicked out. And on a roll? Who else is on a roll? Well, you guys, you saw the roll that the Red Sox went through, right? Who would have guessed this year in May we would even be talking about the Red Sox making the playoffs or even being competitive? They have come down to earth a bit, but have a nice hold on the second wild card. I mean, the Red Sox were playing like shit in March, April, even May they were 13-14. June they were 12-14. And then July hit, and they go off and reel a 21-4 month. And they were about 6-2 going into August, and right now they're 9-7. But that single month of July has them in the hunt. You gotta wonder, can they catch the Yankees for the top wild card spot? Well, here's something to think about. As much as the Yankees are struggling to hit, would they be better off as the third wild card? I know. It's a crazy idea, especially with an 8-game lead that they have right now. But if the Tampa Bay Rays hang on to take the American League East, the Yankees must either remain number 1 seed in the wild cards or drop to 3. If they remain at 1, the wild card, the Yankees will host the Red Sox at Yankee Stadium for the best of 3 consecutive games. If the Red Sox capture the top wild card seed, then the Yankees are toast because then they go to Fenway. Now, if the Yankees drop all the way down to the 3rd wild card, the Yankees would visit the winner of the American League West. Where right now it's the Astros. So pick your poison. I'd rather go play the friggin' Astros. Anybody from the West sucks. But the Yankees still have to get through the Rays. After playing like shit against them all year, it sounds kind of familiar. Last year, the Yankees could not beat the Toronto Blue Jays all season, and it continued in the playoffs as well. This past week proved it has not improved too much, as the Yankees wasted good starting pitching efforts each game, and they still struggled to score. Sitting at 3-6 against the Rays right now for the season is not too good in a tiebreaker. So once again, the hot team to get into the playoff race was the Red Sox, but who could be next? Top records in the past 30 games. So 30 games could be a season sometimes. It helps you running off a 10-game winning streak, like we said. Look at the Cubs record. Okay, so the top 30 games, the Red Sox were 21-9 for a while. The Cubs are second at 20-10. The Padres at 20-10. The Braves at 19-11, and the Diamondbacks at 19-11. And that was just 1 week ago. That was 1 week ago. And look how much we've changed now. The number one team right now, 1 week later, an update of past 30 games, the Rays are top at 19-8. The Padres are 19-9. The Cubs still pretty hot at 18-10. The Astros jump on board with a 16-9, and the Red Sox drop all the way down to 17-11. Now, those are teams that just 1 week ago we didn't even know that they were winning, right? But it's wild, winning streaks. Looking at the list of current hot teams, it does make you wonder, especially since they changed so much. And if you're a fan of one of the teams on the bubble of a wild card spot, Major League Baseball has proven that it is tough to continue to win, no matter who the team is, whether it's talk about tanking or building up a team about the upcoming season. Something stands out about the teams that can be consistent year after year, though. Lately, the Dodgers are all in the news for consistency. But did you know that the Yankees are in a streak of having a winning record in 34 consecutive years? Since 1992's 76-86 fourth place finish, the Yankees have had a winning record. Tell that to a fan in Pittsburgh, right? Now, is that a record? Well, actually, the New York Yankees do hold the Major League Baseball record, but it's with 39 consecutive winning seasons, from 1926 to 1964, the power time of the Yankees. So this current streak is attempting to beat that one. If the Yankees continue to win for another 5 more years, oh, wait, that's right, you hate the Yankees. Well, I can fully understand, because if the numbers are right, that's 109 years of winning baseball. A franchise with a .570 winning percentage. Oh, shit. I guess you really got to put it in perspective. I can fully understand why practically every fan of every other team hates the Yankees. They were established in 1903. They're 123 years old, and the teams have produced 109 years of winning baseball. Shit. Maybe this is hitting home for me now, as I struggle to watch a full game of the Yankees. They score on the 3 runs most nights, wasting awesome pitching, and they just can't hit. Many fans are wishing for big changes as we move into the postseason mode. Even the most successful franchise in baseball is wondering what's next. And it's definitely going to be some exciting September baseball as teams and players are going to be frantic for that final push. Any guess? Do you know or think the hot team and players who they will be? Remember, Nostradamus has said, whichever team is the hottest after September 15th, you can bet to win it all. Did I say bet? Let's go back a bit. July 18th, 2025. Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase from the Cleveland Guardians were suspended amid gambling investigations related to a scheme to rig bets on pitches they threw. They were placed on leave by Major League Baseball as the investigation unfolded. So where the hell does that stand now? Clase was a 3-time All-Star and became the second Guardians pitcher to be placed on leave in connection with a sports gambling probe. Luis Ortiz, his teammate, is also on non-disciplinary leave. Both players are still being paid by the Guardians, but they're unable to play. Supposedly, no other players were involved from the Guardians team. So why have we not heard shit about this investigation? The Guardians took a huge hit last year with the suspension of these players, and it impacted their bullpen and overall results. Last year, and even this year. Will they be back? Well, it's been over a year already with no definitive information being shared by Major League Baseball. The 28-year-old Clase was 5-3 with 24 saves in 48 games when suspended. The right-hander led the American League in saves in each of the previous 3 years. So we're not talking about somebody who's just, pitching a couple innings a week. He was a major part of their bullpen. And Major League Baseball has really been monitoring sports gambling much more closely since a U.S. Supreme Court ruled in May of 2018, which struck down a federal law that had barred betting on football, basketball, baseball, and most other sports in all states. Now, Major League Baseball said in a statement that Clase, per an agreement with the Players Association, had been placed on leave while the league continues its sports betting investigation, and it declines any further comment. Previously, he was also suspended for 80 games on May 1st, 2020, not for a gambling charge, but he tested positive for the banned performance-enhancing substance, boldenone. So, the Ortiz investigation is related to in-game proposition bets on 2 pitches thrown by the right-hander that received higher activity for gambling than usual during his starts at Seattle on June 15th and against St. Louis on June 27th. So they've been watching it so closely that they follow it game by game. And the gambling activity on the pitches was flagged by a betting integrity firm and forwarded to MLB. Unbelievable, right? Whew. I tell you, gambling partnerships in baseball led to all of this. Nice decision, right? So what is the deal with Clase and Ortiz? Do you think Major League Baseball will ever tell us? Well, I think that's a wrap on today's show. I hope you enjoyed our 17th episode of Season 3 of Mo's World, the baseball podcast. We are in our in-season schedule for releasing new episodes every other Friday. Our next episode will air on September 4th, 2026. Each episode is approximately 20 minutes long. We have a new section in the podcast where you can support us and become a subscriber. Shout-outs, contests, and more to come for those who do. Thank you for listening, and please spread the word to your friends. In the meantime, ask yourself, whose world is it? It's Mo's World.